there, beautiful souls. Let's get real for a second. When you hear self-love, what comes to mind? Bath bombs, shopping sprees, maybe a night in with a face mask and a rom-com? Don't get me wrong, those things are great. But if self-love only happens during spa days and special treats, then what are we doing on all the other days? Here's the truth. Real, radical self-love is about building a deep, lasting relationship with yourself that shows up every day. No bubble bath required. So today, we're breaking down the myths, diving deep, and discovering what it really means to love yourself from the inside out. Ready to dive in? All right, let me introduce myself properly. I'm Carlene, and I've spent years guiding others on journeys to self-discovery, healing, and growth. My work goes beyond the surface, beyond occasional treat yourself moments, and into the heart of what it means to build a real, lasting relationship with yourself. We hear so much about self-love, but often it's tied up in things we do for ourselves, like a shopping spree or a spa day. Don't get me wrong, those things are great, but true self-love isn't just what we do for yourself. It's who you become for yourself. It's about showing up for the real, messy, beautiful parts of who you are every day. This deeper self-love, which I call radical self-love, is about creating a foundation within yourself. It's about building resilience, honoring your own worth, and being a true ally to yourself in every season of your life. And it's not just me saying this. Science backs it up. Studies show that real self-compassion can lower stress, boost our health, and help us feel more grounded and resilient. So today, I'm here to break down the myths around self-love, share the practices that help us cultivate in our daily lives, and help you deepen your relationship with yourself in a way that's real, lasting, and transformative. So let's get into it. There are a few myths about self-love that we need to bust wide open. These myths have a way of making self-love sound like some elusive, sparkly thing that you can only access on special occasions. But real self-love, it's an everyday thing, and it's so much deeper than the surface level stuff we often see. Let's start with a biggie. Myth 1, self-love is self-indulgent. Here's the deal. A lot of people hear self-love and immediately think it means putting yourself above everyone else or treating yourself like royalty 24/7. But real self-love isn't about booking endless spa days or eating chocolate in a bathtub. Although, hey, if that's your thing, go for it. True self-love is more like creating a home within yourself, a foundation that keeps you grounded, even when things get messy. It's about respecting your own needs so you can actually show up for others without feeling drained. And guess what? Studies even show that people who practice self-compassion have more to give because they're not running on empty. So the next time someone tells you that self-love is selfish, just smile and know that your full cup has ripple effects for everyone around you. Let's take a few seconds and think about where you may have been told that self-love is selfish or indulgent. How does that belief sit with you? Imagine what it might feel like to let go and embrace the idea that taking care of yourself can actually make you more available to others. Myth 2, self-love is a one-time achievement. This one's a doozy. Sometimes we think that self-love is something you arrive at, and then voila, you're set for life. But let me tell you, self-love isn't a destination, it's a practice. Think of it like a friendship you're building with yourself. Some days you're on top of the world, and other days, well, it's a bit of a struggle, and that's okay. I can't tell you how many times I used to think self-love was just a day off and a Netflix binge. And sure, those days helped a bit, but they didn't get me anywhere close to real lasting self-love. That took a little more work and some real honesty with myself. Dr. Kristen Neff, who knows a thing or two about self-compassion, says that self-love is like a muscle. You build it one small act of kindness at a time. So don't worry about getting it right every day. Just show up as you are and keep nurturing that relationship with yourself. Myth 3, self-love means always being positive. All right, this one's huge. There's this idea floating around that self-love means you're happy all the time, or that you should be constantly affirming yourself in the mirror like you're your own life coach. But real self-love is not about pretending everything's peachy. It's about letting yourself feel what you need to feel, even on hard days. Here's the soulful truth, backed by science, that when we make space for all of our emotions, we actually strengthen our ability to handle stress and find our center again. This is called radical acceptance. And it's about saying, hey, all parts of me are welcome here. So next time you're not feeling 100%, give yourself permission to sit with those feelings. Real self-love includes the mess. It doesn't skip over it. These myths can make self-love feel like some glittery, out-of-touch thing. But the reality is that self-love is available to you every single day. It's not about being perfect or always having it together. It's about being real with yourself and creating a relationship where you feel safe, seen, and worthy, no matter what. All right, now that we've cleared away some of those myths, let's talk about what real radical self-love actually looks like. Think of it as a foundation with 3 strong pillars: self-compassion, self-respect, and self-understanding. When you nurture these pillars, you're building a relationship with yourself that's steady, resilient, and soul deep. Take a moment to imagine these pillars: self-compassion, self-respect, and self-understanding as strong beams holding up a foundation within you. This is the foundation you can return to day after day, no matter what life throws your way. It's a space you can lean on, a place where you can feel truly at home with yourself. So let's break down each one. Self-compassion, being kind to yourself. Self-compassion is the gentle act of showing up for yourself, especially on the days when you don't feel like you're at your best. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Imagine saying to yourself, "Hey, it's okay. I'm here for you." And this isn't just nice in theory. Self-compassion has powerful effects on our mental and physical health. Studies show that it lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and increases oxytocin, the love hormone. So every time you choose to be kind to yourself, you're not just lifting your mood, you're actually supporting your whole well-being. Next time you're caught in self-love criticism, pause and ask, what would I say to someone I love in this situation? You deserve that same kindness. Self-respect, honoring your needs and boundaries. Self-respect is about recognizing that your time, energy, and well-being are sacred. It's setting boundaries that honor your needs and saying no when something doesn't feel aligned. Think of it this way. Self-respect is about knowing your own full fuck yes and honoring the power of your sacred no. Here's the thing. No is a full sentence. It doesn't require an explanation or apology. Your sacred no is a powerful act of self-respect. It's you protecting your energy, your peace, and your values. When we say yes to the things that drain us, we're not leaving space for the things that truly align with who we are. Saying no isn't selfish. It's a way of ensuring that you can show up fully for the things that genuinely matter to you. So take a moment to think about a time when you said yes to something that didn't feel right. We've all been there. But imagine how empowering it would feel to give yourself permission to say no without guilt, to preserve your energy for the things that truly light you up. That's self-respect in action. Studies even show that setting healthy boundaries reduce stress and increase self-confidence. Spiritually, creating these boundaries is about creating a sacred container around yourself, a space that's yours, where you can feel safe, grounded, and true to yourself. Self-understanding, getting to know your true self. Self-understanding is about cultivating a deep curiosity for who you really are. This means taking time to explore what you love, what lights you up, and yes, even the parts that trigger you or the parts you might not like. These are often the parts of ourselves we tend to push away or ignore, but they're often the ones that need the most compassion. When we allow ourselves to see these parts with awareness and gentle witnessing, we create the space to understand and eventually to love them too. This isn't about fixing yourself. It's about accepting and embracing the whole authentic you. When we give these hidden parts attention and compassion, they become less overwhelming and more integrated into our whole self. When we spend time in quiet reflection, maybe journaling or simply sitting with ourselves, we start to peel back the layers and discover who we are beneath the surface. Psychology even shows that when we know and accept these deeper parts of ourselves, we become less reactive to outside pressure. So ask yourself, when was the last time I just sat quietly and listened to all parts of me? Self-understanding means giving yourself the gift of just being without needing to fix or change anything. All right, now that we've explored the foundation of radical self-love, let's talk about how to put it into practice in a way that's real, grounded, and doable in daily life. These are simple, soulful practices that can help you connect with yourself on a deeper level and bring those pillars of self-compassion, self-respect, and self-understanding into your everyday routines. Let's dive into 3 practices that can help you build a relationship with yourself that's both gentle and empowering. Practice 1, the soul check-in. Start or end your day with a soul check-in. Take a few quiet moments to ask yourself, how am I really feeling right now? Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just listen without trying to change anything. This practice is about allowing yourself to feel what's present and giving yourself permission to just be. Studies show that checking in with our emotions reduces anxiety and helps us respond to stress more mindfully. And on a soul level, this is like creating a space within where you're free to be completely authentic within yourself. So let's reflect. Give yourself a few moments of silence and notice what comes up. Are there emotions you haven't fully acknowledged? Are there parts of yourself asking for attention? This practice allows you to create a loving connection with yourself that's rooted in honesty and acceptance. Practice 2, the sacred no and the full fuck yes. Self-respect means setting boundaries that honor your needs. And one of the most powerful tools in your self-love toolkit is the ability to say no when something doesn't serve you. This is your sacred no, a gift you give to yourself to protect your energy, your peace, and your truth. Here's a quick exercise. Next time you feel faced with a decision, check in with yourself and ask, is this a full fuck yes? If it's not, consider whether it's something you want to say no to. Remember, no is a full sentence. By honoring your sacred no, you're making room for what truly aligns with you and creating the space for your full fuck yes moments, the ones that light you up and bring you closer to your true self. Practice number 3, a self-compassion ritual. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to acknowledge yourself for something you did well or something you're proud of, no matter how small. This is your time to reflect on your day with kindness. Maybe you handled a challenging situation with grace, or maybe you just showed up as best as you could. That's enough. Place your hand on your heart and say thank you, your name, for showing up today. This simple ritual reinforces self-compassion and reminds you that your efforts are valuable, that you are enough. Self-love is a journey, and each day's small steps count. Let's reflect. Take a moment to let this gratitude sink in. Recognize the strength it takes to show up for yourself every day. This ritual helps build a gentle, kind relationship with yourself, one that supports you on the hard days and celebrates you on the good ones. These practices might seem simple, but they're powerful tools for creating a deeper, more loving connection with yourself. Radical self-love isn't about grand gestures or quick fixes. It's about making spaces for yourself daily, honoring who you are, and learning to be on your own team. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a reminder that radical self-love isn't about reaching a destination or becoming some ideal version of yourself. It's a lifelong practice, a commitment to building a relationship with yourself that is gentle, resilient, and true. Real self-love is about showing up for yourself in the small moments, making space for your needs, and being compassionate to yourself on every step of your journey. Some days will feel easier, and some days will feel like a challenge. And that's okay. This is about progress, not perfection. So, as you go forward, I encourage you to try one of these practices that we talked about today. Start with what resonates with you and make it your own. And if you're comfortable, share your experiences in the comments. Let's support each other on this journey and build a community of self-love and resilience together. Thank you for being here, for taking this time to connect with yourself, and for showing up with an open heart. You're already worthy of love, exactly as you are. Until next time, remember that self-love isn't something you have to earn. It's something you already deserve. Here's to embracing that truth every single day.